Both sides have lost jawans, four it seems, if both sides are to be believed. We do know that India is saying that two of its soldiers were badly mutilated, something that Pakistan denies. But on the other hand, Pakistan claims that one of their jawans were killed when the Indians crossed the line, and the Indians deny that. Pakistan says the Indians killed soldier Naik Aslam on the 6th of January, that Indians crossed the LOC in that attack. India denies that crossing, accepts that there was retaliatory shelling. India's lost, of course, Lance Naik's Hemraj and Sudhakar, killed by Pakistani troops, according to the Indian Army, on the 8th of January. Hemraj decapitated, and his family still demanding that his head be returned. Hemraj has 3 children, youngest is just 3. Lance Naik Sudhakar has a 4-month-old baby. Pakistan's soldiers also lost in Indian shelling on the 9th of Jan. Joining us in our Delhi studios, Lalit Mansingh, former Foreign Secretary from Chandigarh, Lieutenant General B.S. Jaiswal, ex-Northern Army commander, and Bachi Kakaria, author and columnist to the Times of India, also someone who's just returned from Lahore for a SAFMA, South Asian Regional Conference of Journalists. Thanks all for coming in. Ambassador Mansingh, just coming to you, there has been a measured response, we would say, by say the foreign minister, who says a strong protest has been given. It's unacceptable, cannot happen again. The army, A.K. Antony, saying that it's unacceptable as well. But on the ground, it seems to be just a diplomatic slap on the wrist, or more than that.
No, I think you must understand that there is still so much anger about what has happened. Our troops are angered because of the brutality which the Pakistanis inflicted on our 2 soldiers who died. So it will take time for tempers to cool down. Situation can't be normal that close after this series of incidents. But I think the government has taken a measured response. I think it's the right one, sending a tough message to Pakistan, but refusing to derail the peace talks, which are in the interests of both countries.
Which is what the government has basically done. You
right.
agree with what they've done?
Exactly. But if things get worse, naturally the government will be forced to take even stronger measures.
Just coming to Bachi Kakaria now, ma'am, you've just come back from Lahore. There has been a lot of, while you were there, all these incidents took place. What really was, how was your welcome, and how was the stay there in spite of all this tension that was going on both sides?
Well, every time one has visited Lahore and has crossed the Wagah border, there's so much camaraderie, there's so much friendship, there's so much talk of peace. And then at the same time, when you hear about these brutal killings, you know, it's very, very difficult to understand your feelings, because the whole purpose of the SAFMA meet was to find ways in which journalists should de-escalate the tensions that exist across the border on both sides. And at the same time, when there's a war-like situation, which fortunately we haven't come to at this point, and I hope we will not, you know, journalists have to do their job as journalists and not merely work as peace emissaries. In this particular case, we did not find you know, any great difference from the discussions that were taking place, because it was still early years, early days. We had just heard about the brutal killing, and really more than the killing happens on the LOC all the time, but people's heads are not supposed to be cut off. Right. And I think that's what made us feel really very unsure about this whole talk of bhai-bhaiism that was happening in Lahore and Amritsar.
General Jaiswal, if I could just get you in, Churchill's famous comments on war, that we should be talking, not really talking war. But what's your take on how the government has responded? Do you think this is the only possible response at this point of time, or could it have been stronger?
Well, I personally feel that the response has to be slightly stronger, and what is going on at the military level, I think our response is strong enough. And as far as Pakistan's action is concerned, it's not only the barbaric act which they have done, but they've also intruded into our territory, which is an act of aggression. We have to respond tactically, and I do agree that war is not an option to resolve things. But if the government message is not understood well and proper by Pakistan, and above all, if Pakistan keeps itself in a denial mode, I think the stand has to be far more tougher. I wouldn't like to define beyond that.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.